Do you know what happened to Audreanna tonight?
No, I don't.
She talked to us. She said that you and Heather did this to her. So that's why we're talking to you two.
This is the moment Tina realized her murder victim was still alive. And to make things worse, her victim had just told the cops everything they needed to know to put her behind bars for the rest of her life.
We know what happened out there. It's just going to be a matter of getting fingerprints and evidence back. I'm going to do it. I promise to God.
Tina is currently being interrogated over the horrific attack of her friend in Florida. Like most teenage fights, it apparently started because of a dispute over a guy. But this isn't the story that she and two other suspects would tell investigators in this extremely sick case.
Okay. Tina, you know, can I call you Tina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously know something's up. So tell me what happened tonight.
Nothing happened that I know of. Heather just said that something about Audreanna got beat up real bad.
Okay. You don't know anything about that?
No.
See your arms and hands if I could. Okay. And what's this right here? That little scratch there.
This?
Yeah.
I have a puppy.
Okay. And your puppy caused that?
Look, I'm going to here.
Got your chin? Okay.
19-year-old Audreanna had gone over to her neighbor's house to patch things up after an argument, but she had no idea that fate was waiting for her. That neighbor was Tina Brown, and Audreanna was walking straight into a trap. What started off as a fight quickly turned into something much worse, but according to Tina, she's got an alibi.
So where were you tonight?
At Heather's.
At Heather's house?
Heather said she was going to cook, so I went down there. She was cooking fish and french fries, and then we just started watching movies.
You were there all night until the cops came up there?
Mm-hmm.
What time did you go over there?
Probably just started getting dark.
Okay, so about sunset, was anybody over at Heather's house when you went over there?
Just Heather and her husband.
Heather, okay.
Did anybody else come over there?
Her and her little friend girls were at the house. She said she hurt her hand, so usually we get there and everything is all right, so I don't end up going with her, but she said she was going to the emergency room.
What time was that when they came by, you know? Was it long after you got there?
No.
Okay, so early in the evening?
I don't know what time it was.
Oh, okay. So about 30 to 45 minutes after sunset.
Tina's daughter, Brittany, was also at Heather's house at the time, but the problem here was that they, along with Tina, were the three main suspects in the case. The detective already knows there's bad blood between Tina and Audreanna and spent some time discussing their friendship.
What has been going on between you and Audreanna this week?
Oh, a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, Audreanna, me and Audreanna were together today.
Okay, where were y'all
at
together?
At my house.
Okay, what was going on there?
We were just sitting there watching movies, trying to get my computer, pull it up where I can get iTunes and watch movies.
Have y'all had any problems?
Oh yeah, we've had problems. The first 3 trailers, we've had problems for a long time.
What's the problems?
Well, lately the new problem is she thinks that I'm the one who had her boyfriend locked up in jail.
Okay, so she's mad at you thinking her boyfriend's locked up because of you.
Yeah, but we talked about it earlier today.
This would be one of several accusations that surrounded the 4 women. Tina's daughter Brittany also claimed Audreanna slept with her boyfriend. But even so, Tina says there were no issues over the last few days.
I mean, me and her actually just started back talking today.
Okay.
Because I asked her this morning, what was I doing this morning? I was trying to make some phone calls, and I wanted to heat up some chicken, so I asked her would she put the church's chicken in her microwave, and she heated it up for me and brought it to my house.
Okay. Do you know what happened to Audreanna tonight?
No, I don't. Heather just said she got beat up, but that's all I know.
A little bit more than that.
The detective is talking about the horrifying injuries covering Audreanna's body, and despite her story, Tina knows exactly what happened. Tina, Brittany, and Heather waited for Audreanna to arrive at Tina's house in Ensley before ambushing her with a taser and beating her down with a crowbar. The 3 then threw her in the trunk of a car and drove her to a secluded patch of woodland where they set her on fire and then walked away. Clearly, they expected her to be dead, but Audreanna not only survived this horrific attack, but managed to crawl to a nearby house and find help. She did this with burns covering over 60% of her body. None of the suspects, including Tina, know that she survived, until the detective drops this bombshell.
We're not sure if she's gonna make it or not.
No, I don't.
Does she talk to us, or she talked to the people that came over to help her?
Mm-hmm.
She told them something. You know what she told them?
I could just imagine what's that.
She said that you and Heather did this to her. So that's why we're talking to you two.
But she said I called. She's been saying a lot of stuff lately.
Okay.
She said I called, because this is all stuff that we talked about today at my house.
Okay.
About my tire was stabbed.
Okay.
And I asked her if she do it. She said no. I mean, I couldn't prove she did it. So I didn't argue about it, fuss about it or nothing.
But you thought she did it?
Mm-hmm. Just because of what people said. But
Did you hear about her window getting busted out?
Whose window?
Audreanna's window getting busted out a few days ago. You didn't hear about it?
No, sir, I didn't.
And you said tonight you were over at Heather and Darren's, right?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't go anywhere?
No.
Did anybody come over there while you were there?
He had somebody come over, but I didn't go out.
Who were they that came over?
He was dark skinned and he had braids.
Okay.
And then there's another guy, but I didn't know who that guy
Blocker
was.
sound familiar?
Yeah.
And did anybody else come over?
Yeah. White guy in a red truck.
You know who that was?
You know, he went out there and went outside and talked to him.
And what was Darren doing while y'all over there cooking? Anything?
Laying on the couch watching movies.
Is that pretty much what y'all were doing all the way until the cops came? Okay, so you, Darren, and Tina were sitting in the living room. Heather were sitting there in the living room watching movies. And when the cops knocked on the door, what'd y'all do?
We were sitting there.
Okay. Why didn't you answer the door?
It ain't my door.
Okay. So y'all sat there, and when the cops came, they didn't answer the door. And how long were y'all in there before you did answer the door?
We thought that, I guess the tape was going out, because Audreanna has a little boy that's kind of hyper. He said that little boy probably got that taser and tased that little girl.
All right, but you were home all night. You didn't see any kind of disturbance going on over there before the cops came over there or anything?
No, we would have heard something.
Right now, Tina is starting to show signs of guilt. She's slumped over with her head hung down and avoiding eye contact, indicating she's very ashamed and regretful. Or at the very least, sorry she's been caught. Whatever the case may be, she definitely seems uncomfortable. But as the detective points out, it's definitely not for the right reasons.
You didn't go get anything or go anywhere at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. You seem kind of lackadaisical about this. I'm telling you that this woman is probably going to die and has named you as the person that's harmed her. It kind of, doesn't sit easy with me that you're just so nonchalant about this.
I just talked to her today, and I told her I never called DCFS on the kids.
Okay. Well, she's probably going to die, is the word we're getting. And we're concerned over that. And the last person she said that did this to her is you and Heather. Okay? We're going to go out there. We know what happened out there. It's just going to be a matter of getting fingerprints and evidence back. Okay?
Once again, Tina shows her guilt, this time by touching her lips. This is often a telltale sign someone is lying and is trying to hide that fact by covering their mouth.
The reason we're here.
Basically, what she told the fireman was that you two came and grabbed her.
Well, say what now?
What she told the fireman was that you two came over and grabbed her, pulled her out of that house, beat her, and harmed her.
And nobody out there, the kids or nobody saw none of this.
Nobody saw it. We talked to everybody in that neighborhood.
Kids are always outside.
We've talked to everybody in the neighborhood.
And
You saw them all out
hear
there.
Nothing?
Nope. And she's saying that y'all did it. And we're sitting here talking to you, and then I'd certainly appreciate, and I know Tom appreciates that you're talking to us. But we got to get to the bottom of this, and we got to know what happened, the truth. And there are two choices here. Either you're going to tell us, or Heather's going to tell us. So, who's it going to be?
I didn't do anything to her.
Okay.
Promise to God.
And you were home all night.
I was at Heather's house.
You were at Heather's all night. Never left there. Because, see, the story between Heather and Darren is already shaky. And your story is a third version of what they've told us so far. It's a serious allegation. I mean, this is life-changing. and somebody's life may end over this. We're getting told that she's in pretty critical condition at this point and not likely to make it.
When Audreanna was found, she reportedly told her rescuers that Tina had never expected her to make it out of the woods, let alone make it to safety. But despite her brave fight, Audreanna died from her ordeal 16 days after her rescue.
I mean, she was just
Why
at my
is
house
Audreanna-
today. Why she didn't tell me? I've been blamed for a lot. Well, it's a cycle over there. It goes trailer 1, trailer 2, trailer 3,
Well, she didn't
trailer
do it to
4.
herself. Somebody did it to her.
Audreanna been riding that bike all day today.
Okay, but somebody did it to her.
I didn't.
Okay.
I swear I
But she's saying you did it.
I didn't. Audreanna been saying I didn't. I did
It may
a
be
lot
the
of
last
stuff.
thing she tells somebody. You know?
Tina, Heather, and Brittany were all found guilty of murder, with Tina believed to be the ringleader. Had Audreanna not made it that day, these 3 killers could have escaped justice. But now Tina sits on death row, waiting for her day of execution. Detectives often know exactly who the killers are right from the start, they just need to prove it. But sometimes things are different, like in this case, where the detectives realize they got things completely backwards, and their main suspect ends up revealing the shocking truth in the hunt for a missing girl.
Do you suspect Sam in any of this?
The guy that, was interested in her, and, some other guys that were interested in her, but they found out she had a boyfriend, they're friends now. I really couldn't see him doing it.
One afternoon in April 2006, 17-year-old Ashley left her home in Illinois with her boyfriend for an interview and a basketball game, saying she'd be back before 10:30. Ashley didn't return that night. Her terrified parents called the police, who found her boyfriend's vehicle abandoned with 2 outfits, one for the interview and one for the game. Adding up all the evidence, her boyfriend Jeremy was now the prime suspect and was taken in for questioning.
Has she been through any kind of trouble or trying times recently or anything like that?
Not recently. A while back, we had an abortion, though. And
How long was that?
probably December.
Okay.
It was a little bit before December.
How did she take that?
She was all right. I mean, it wasn't like horrible, like a bout of depression or anything, she's fine. And she's a lot better now.
How often do you see her?
Once a day, usually, and then on Tuesday nights we don't see each other because I got a designated party night with my buddies. So other than that, it's usually once a day.
Once a day. So, I mean, you guys are pretty serious. And
Yeah.
Been going out for how long now?
Almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in July.
What if somebody came up and said that, that she had some marijuana in her room?
I'd be real surprised.
Okay.
I'd be
And
real
that- and
because
that-
she tells me everything.
What about possibly owing somebody in Cahokia some money for drugs? What about that?
I'd be really surprised.
Do you know the name Mike? That name sound familiar?
No.
Maybe that's not familiar.
A name comes up during the questioning that Jeremy has never heard before, and his reaction to hearing the new name is noticeable. This would be one of many men in Ashley's life that he doesn't know about, but there's one that remains familiar to Jeremy. 27-year-old Sam.
Do you suspect anything between Sam and Ashley?
No. I couldn't see it. I mean, I trust them both too much. I mean, I trust her so much more than him, because it's my girlfriend. I don't think he would ever do anything to harm her, It's just, it doesn't seem like it's his nature.
Well, what about if, possibly not even harming, but what about if they were to, if they were an item or something like that? Would you suspect that at all?
No.
The fight that you had Tuesday night, you were telling me that you guys had a little argument. What was that about?
It was because apparently I yelled at her or something and she didn't like it, and then she gave me all my stuff back, what she had, and said, I'm gonna break up with you. And I said, no, we talked it over and stuff, and that it was just all just, I don't know, just stress, because that's when she thought that she might be pregnant. And
Tuesday night again.
yeah, and she turns out she wasn't, and that was the stress of that, doing that. And
Do you know any friends that she might be with that good friends that she would hang out with, that she would go to their house or anything like that?
I can't see the ones that she would, their parents letting it happen and not letting her parents know. There's no way that if she went to Brittany's house, there's no way Brittany's parents would, not tell Ashley's parents. Or Christy's house, there's no way Christy's parents would not tell Ashley's parents,
Who does she normally hang out with, like there at school?
Christy and some other girls. I don't know their names because I've never really met them outside of school. But she's played basketball with, I think, a couple of them that I haven't met, and I don't know their names. But other than that, just Christy's like the main one.
When Jeremy said Ashley went out of town to play basketball, the detectives wondered what it was that made her travel so far when there were basketball courts nearer her home. It turns out that the reason was Sam, and Jeremy was completely clueless about anything going on between them. Suddenly, police have a brand new suspect.
How long have you known Sam?
I was probably sophomore in high school, I want to say.
When you met him, he was a teacher?
I'm pretty sure he was a teacher over in St. Louis. I think he was doing something with kids. And then he was also doing wrestling stuff. He plays a lot of sports. So.
No, does he?
Yeah.
What's he like?
He's just your all-around average, guy. I mean, loves the party and, loves to teach. That's like his main goal. But he's just average. I mean, there's nothing special, unique about him. Just easygoing guy.
But as far as like physical abuse at the house,
no.
Have you ever seen anything like that? Have you ever seen any marks on her or anything like that?
No.
Bruises or anything? Has she called you up and told you anything like that? Or
no.
Okay.
I know she runs into walls a lot, like literally. I mean, she's got kind of. I've seen her do it. Not like she says that she runs into walls, but I've seen her because I don't know if you want to call it she's blonde or whatever, but yeah, it's not like a continuous thing. I've just seen her do it a couple times. But
what's her mom like?
Her mom? Mm-hmm. She's real nice. I mean, she's raising 2 girls and dealing with Mike. But
what's he like? What's he?
He's good. He's a good dad. I mean, he loves them both those kids to death.
After pressing him for nearly an hour, it slowly became clear to detectives that Jeremy had nothing to do with his girlfriend's disappearance. But he had given them vital information about her 27-year-old basketball friend. Sam was a teacher at a rival school, and his number was found in Ashley's phone. It turns out they made an awful lot of phone calls to each other, so this time he was brought in for questioning. In a story we've all heard before, Sam started out by claiming their relationship was friendship and nothing more.
Well, I'd give her like a hug goodbye. I would do that. That's not sexual, is it? To give someone a hug goodbye? I think she kind of started becoming obsessed with me because, like I said, she was calling me literally nonstop at times.
But after being confronted with the testimony of Ashley's friends, he changed his story.
I will say this, we never kissed. We never kissed. Yes, we did have sex in the back of the vehicle there, and after that day, I felt absolutely terrible about that.
Sam changed his story several times during the course of the questioning, and it was becoming clear to detectives he knew more than he was saying about Ashley's disappearance. The detective needs to break down the barrier that Sam has created, and in order to do that, they try to guilt him into a confession. They're going to use his most loved family members against him as a way of making him crumble.
Your grandma's not here.
I know.
Your mom's not here.
No,
But you know what? In a way they are. Because everything they taught you, all the talks Grandma had with you, are within you. All of them are. And unfortunately right now, Sam, you ain't telling us the truth.
Can I go show you what happened?
Please. She's still out there, Sam? She is. And where's it at?
I have to show you.
It took these detectives an agonizing 12 hours to crack Sam, but he finally admitted to being responsible for Ashley's disappearance. He told police that he got Ashley in a chokehold during the argument and heard her neck snap. He decided to make it look like she had been strangled, so he choked her again, and she became lifeless when he left the scene. Sam thought after 30 hours she would be long dead, and he was taking the police to find her body. But by some miracle, Ashley was found barely alive. It took her weeks to wake up from the coma she had slipped into, and even longer to heal the psychological wounds. But she was able to testify against Sam and live to see him sentenced to 20 years for her attempted murder. If you enjoy true crime videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to see more.